Howdy y'all. I am going to make a lasagna, and I thought I would show you guys how I'm going to put this together. So we're going to start with whole grain lasagna noodles, and I boiled these for about 8 minutes, and then you can see them down here. I kind of draped them around the outside of my pot there, and they're waiting for me to put the lasagna together. So this is going to be a whole grain lasagna. Okay, and what else I'm using is some vegetables. This is some spinach leaves that I've cut up in just kind of like long strips. This is some mushrooms that I've cut up just in small, kind of a little medium dice. And these are just the white button cap mushrooms. And I have some peppers and onion. These are all bell peppers. They're just red, green, and orange bell peppers. And this is a sweet onion, about half of a medium sweet onion. And this is, I think this was 6 or 7 grilled chicken strips. I got them nice and dark on the outside, so they'd have that good caramelized taste. So these are fully cooked, and then I just kind of chopped them up into bite-sized pieces. I'm also going to be using 3 kinds of cheese. So I'm going to be using this shredded mozzarella cheese. I know it's better to shred your own, but I'm going to try and do with this cheese here. Also using feta cheese. This is just a regular, it's not seasoned or anything, and it's not really in big pieces because I usually use the big pieces in our salads. So some feta cheese and some ricotta cheese, and I don't know how much of this I'm going to use. I got the big thing just in case, but I'm not sure. Okay, now some seasonings. I'm going to be using, of course, olive oil and garlic. I'm going to use basil and a little garlic powder, some red chili peppers, crushed red pepper, Italian seasoning, some ground coriander, ground oregano, and just salt. I use the pink salt, but you know, whatever salt that you use is fine. And okay, so that's all my ingredients. And let's get busy putting this together. I want to make sure you can see what I'm doing here. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to get this little bowl, and in here I'm going to put some garlic and olive oil. So I'm just going to put a little olive oil in here. And then I'm going to put some minced garlic. And, you know, quite a bit. I put a great big spoonful like that. Okay, and we're just going to mix this together. So we have some garlic olive oil here, and I'm going to use my brush, and I'm going to brush the bottom of the pan, but I'm going to try and not get too much garlic because I don't want the garlic to burn on the bottom of the pan. So I'm just going to really just try and do the oil, and if you just tilt it a little bit, it'll run off of that garlic, but it'll still be garlic flavored. And this is just to help get it out when the dish is done and you're going to serve it. It just makes it easier to have oiled your pan. And if you go ahead and add the garlic first, it adds a little taste there. So we've got our oiled pan here. And now we can start putting some noodles in here. So I'm not sure how many this is going to take. Let's see. I think 3 across this way. And maybe 1 across the bottom. Like this. Okay, so that doesn't fit exactly, but we're going to go with that for our first layer. And then after this, I think maybe I'll just put, let me cut this little piece off here. Okay, cut that little piece off. Sorry about the squeak. Okay, so now we've got the bottom covered. That looks pretty good. And sorry about my music going in and out. It just does that sometimes. Okay, so the first one we want to do is ricotta cheese and spinach. So I'm just going to spoon this. Let me stir it just a little bit. I'm just going to spoon this in little blobs to make it easier to spread out. And when it cooks, I think it'll kind of smush out a little more too. But it's real thick. And I'm just going to blob it around in here for our bottom layer. And then I'm going to spread it around, and I'm going to put spinach on top of it. So hopefully it'll spread around pretty good. Okay, yeah, that's not too bad. Just go like that. Now, you know, if you want to cut your cooking time down, you could cook the peppers and the onions and stuff a little bit, you know, just like kind of just sweat them a little bit in a skillet with some olive oil, and that would cut your cooking time down. I'm probably going to wind up cooking this for about 45 minutes to an hour, depending on how it looks. But I want to be sure and get the vegetables nice and soft. So if you want to be sure and do that, you can always pre-cook the onions and peppers. Okay, so now we have a nice even layer of ricotta cheese. And on this, I'm going to do just a little bit of our garlicky olive oil. Just a little. And then we're going to go in with the spinach. So this is just going to get sprinkled all over. And of course, spinach always wilts down to absolutely nothing. So this layer will just pretty much be cheese flavored by spinach. So after I get the spinach in there, I want to season it, because I want to season as we go. So the first thing I'm going to do is some salt and some oregano. And then a little of this ground coriander. And the Italian seasoning. And let's see, we want just a touch, not much because they're pretty hot, of these red pepper flakes. And okay, we'll go to our next layer. And again, I apologize for my hit and miss music. So I'm just going to go with 3 for the middle layer here. Seems like it's covering that pretty good. Hope y'all can see. I've got another light here, but it was almost too bright. I think I'll go with it though. Okay, because I want you to be able to see what's going on. On this layer, I'm going to do a little of the garlic oil. This time I want the garlic. Spread it all around on the pasta. There we go. And I think I'm going to go with the chicken. Yeah, I'm going to go with the chicken on this layer. So I'm just going to spread what I've got here evenly. And you know, you can omit the chicken and just have a veggie lasagna, or you can use beef or whatever you like. I'm going with just like not a very much amount of chicken here. So, okay, with the chicken, I'm going to do some feta. Oh yeah, I was going to put the mushrooms in here too. Chicken and mushroom on this level. Okay. There we go. Lots of chicken and mushroom. Now the chicken is really well seasoned, so I'm not really worried about seasoning this too much. I'll come back with a little bit, but I don't think we need too much seasoning on this layer. I'm going to do the feta cheese all over. Be sure and get the last of it. And I think I want to put some basil. A little bit different on the herbs on this layer. Give it some interest. Little basil there. And I think also a little garlic powder. Okay. Let's do another layer. I've got some more of these. There we go. All right. Now on here I'm going to do some more of the garlic olive oil mixture on the noodles. We can always mix up some more if we run out. So that looks pretty garlicky. Now we're going to do our veggies. So we've got the onions. I'm putting these close to the top because I want to make sure they cook thoroughly, and I didn't pre-cook them. So we got the red pepper, we got the green pepper, and the orange or yellow bell pepper. It looks really orange. Be sure and get it to the sides. So there's all of our lovely peppers, the pepper layer. Okay. Now on this one, get a paper towel here. This one I'm going to do some mozzarella, but not a lot, just a little. Just kind of hold the layers together. And then I'll put a little more mozzarella on top when they're finished. Okay. I want to season this. Season as you go. Salt, oregano, and the coriander again. We're going to go back with a little bit of red pepper because these bell peppers, although they have taste, they don't have a lot of spice. Okay. I think I'm going to try and go this way. With these last few. I think I have enough to go like this. To make a nice top. There we go. So now I'm just going to cut off the extra noodle, just like you would a pie crust. Just pop it right off. Just like that. We'll tuck these in. Okay. Now I'm going to do a little bit more olive oil. Make sure these are tucked in there. Do a little olive oil on here. Okay. Clean up my little bits and pieces here. Okay, and now we're just gonna go with a lot of mozzarella on top. And you could put anything you like in your lasagna. You can put tomatoes, you can use a tomato sauce. I'm not using any kind of canned tomato sauce because I wanted to make this really fresh with all fresh ingredients, except, you know, of course the pasta's pre-made and the cheeses, but everything's really fresh and nice, and I'm hoping this will be a nice healthy take on lasagna. But it does have a lot of cheese. My husband loves cheese on everything. He wants extra cheese. So I'm making this mainly for his lunches. So be sure to put lots of cheese on there for him. Okay. And then I want to season this cheese. We'll put a little basil. We'll put a little garlic. And let's see, a little Italian seasoning. Okay. Okay, so here's my lasagna. And I'm going to pop this in a 350 degree oven for about 40 minutes, maybe up to an hour, or whenever I can peep in here and see that my peppers are getting soft. I can actually just lift this up right there on the corner. I don't know if you can see after it's cooked a little while, and I can see my peppers and maybe even sneak and taste one to make sure that they're good and done. So that's another reason I like to put the peppers up close to the top. So here is my chicken and veggie lasagna with whole grain noodles. I hope that you enjoyed me showing you how I'm making this, and thanks for joining me. And I'll try to remember to do a finished product video and show you what this looks like when it's all done. So y'all have a great day and be sweet.